I am sure that you have heard of the masculine and feminine energy as it pertains to yin and yang. But have you ever heard it from the perspective of the 144,000 InnerQi and Enlil, who are also brothers from King Anu, also a part of the Anunnaki, the beings responsible for turning the apes into what we now call humanity. Enlil, according to the Anunnaki story, was given rulership over the earth over InnerQi, who was his older brother. But because of the monarchy rules and the standards of the Anunnaki, kingship can only be given to those of the bloodline, and Enlil was a part of the bloodline. So King Anu made him the ruler of the earth, and InnerQi was made the ruler of the underworld. Very important point. Enlil, father of the earth, was married to who we know as Lilith. Now she goes by different names in different societies, but Lilith is very important. Lilith also represents Sophia, her polar opposite. And they were given this seat, again, by King Anu. And they represent the masculine side of things, which we will get into, which is why this video is called Feminine versus Masculine Energy. Now, InnerQi ruled over the underworld, which is also the heavens, because you have to understand that this world is flipped upside down in this three-dimensional reality. Everything that we know is good is bad, and everything that we know is bad, in most ways, is good. So, InnerQi ruled over the underworld, which is also the heavens. He was also the father of the chosen with Sophia. Yes, according to the Anunnaki story, his wife was named InnerQi. But what you have to understand is that Enlil and Lilith represented the masculine side. InnerQi and Sophia, or InnerQi, again, another society, they represent the feminine side. You see how there are two sides, there are always opposites, but they all have a common denominator. There is something in the middle that connects both sides, which make both sides the same. You cannot have one without the other. So, Enlil, as mentioned before, was the father of the other nations of the earth. InnerQi was the father of the chosen seed, Shem, Israel. That is very important. When Enlil kicked out InnerQi's people, Adam and Eve, or Adamu and Tiamat, we see that some of his people stayed in the Garden of Eden, Enlil's people, while Adamu and Tiamat, or Eve, were kicked out into the wilderness. Now, when they were kicked out into the wilderness, InnerQi had passion for them. But let us take a step back and look at why Adam and Eve were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. Looking at the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve were put there. And according to the Anunnaki story, everybody came to see them because they had never seen nothing like it before. This type of species was never seen before, so great and so powerful, and even able to surpass the Anunnaki themselves. Very smart, very wise on their own. So when they got kicked out, it was InnerQi and Sophia who came to their aid. Now let us take a step back again. In the Garden of Eden, who was it that ate from the tree of life first? It was the woman first. I don't know if you have watched my previous video where I told you that the woman came first. Check this. The woman came first, and she was the first one to eat of the tree of life. Now, this tree of life is also known as the sycamore tree, which also represents who? Hathor, Nut, Isis, right? Sophia, Mary Magdalene, all of them, the same entity in different societies, in different places, doing the same exact thing. And that is seen all over the mythologies. Now, when Enlil or Yahweh said, "Do not eat from the tree of life," because he did not want them to know who they were. Because as soon as they gained that wisdom from the serpent, who is also Tiamat, right? As soon as they gained this wisdom and knowledge and understanding from Tiamat, according to the Anunnaki story, they said it was InnerQi, but you have to read the lines and you have to understand the symbology of what they're actually saying. What they said was the serpent tricked Eve. You see how it is good and bad, flipped. No, it is important for us to wake up. It is important for us to understand these complex things that we once knew before. So when Eve ate from the sycamore tree, which also represents Isis, Hathor, and Nut, we see that she ate a fig. And if you have ever seen a fig, it also represents the womb of a woman. And it also represents the vulva of a woman. It represents a woman. And even the shape of a fig without it being cut, you see that it is the same shape of a woman's vulva, showing you that women are the most important. The feminine side is the most important, more than the man. Why? Is because they are the only ones who can bear fruit. Anytime you see a picture of Eve, she always has fruit in her hand, showing you that women are the only ones who bear fruit. Yes, men are also very important too. But for right now, we're talking about the feminine energy, because the feminine energy is the one that has been put down. And that is why everything has been flipped, because they don't want you to know that. So now that we have a better understanding of what the Garden of Eden was actually talking about and who the serpent was indeed the Great Mother, was indeed Sophia. Sophia is Barbelo, Pistis, and Sophia, 3 in 1. But we recognize them as the Son, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit, of course, is Sophia. Of course, is a motherly figure, right? Who do we miss the most? We missed our mom the most. We didn't really miss our dads the most. In some cases, yes, our father was in our life and he was very important. But for the most part, everybody misses their mom. You talk about my mom, we're going to have a problem. So, when in the beginning, when the Great Father and the Great Mother were together, from them came this union of the masculine and feminine energy. And the thing that connected them was the daughter that no one speaks of, the hidden one, right? The woman. The woman is always hidden. She is always behind the man, right? As again, Sophia represents Barbelo, Pistis, and Sophia. So whenever you hear Pistis Sophia or Pistis or Barbelo, think of them as 3 in 1. So when Sophia tried to create on her own without the Messiah as her consort, right? The Messiah was her consort. The Messiah represents the feminine energy side. When she tried to create without him, she became masculine. And she was married to Enlil, or Yaldabaoth, according to the Nag Hammadi, or Zeus, or Yahweh, the god of this world. As I told you before, Enlil had rulership over this world from King Anu, according to the Anunnaki. Have to connect these stories together. So when she joined over with Enlil, she became who? Lilith. When she was back with her consort, the Messiah, she was who? Sophia. So both sides created beings that are extremely powerful, extremely gifted, talented, all of that. So what do we have? We have the Chiakar Empire, the reptilians, right? And then we have, on the other hand, the Elohim and the 144,000, the ascended masters. Understand,